is a typical single-phase submersible pump wiring diagram. Why wiring is a problem? Identifying the windings of a single-phase submersible pump is a bigger problem. So in this video, we'll teach you how to identify the windings of the motor and also how you wire the submersible pump. Now, this is a submersible pump. Here I have a green wire, black, red, and blue. Now, typically in Nigeria, green or yellow wire are used for earthing. Now, but you cannot say the same about this black, red, and blue. Now, for a typical submersible pump, they have the run winding. They also have the start winding. For a typical submersible pump, single phase, not three phase, a single phase, they have the run and the starts. Now, if you look at some boxes, that is submersible pump box, you can see something like M, A, C, and PE. Have you seen something like this? Now, this is represent main winding, which is certain as the run. This represents the auxiliary winding, which is the same thing as the start winding. This is common, and this is earthing. So in some boxes you see something like this. Now, the main issue is, how do you identify that this cable or this is main, auxiliary, or common? Some people naturally will tell you that this black is common. Some people naturally will tell you that this one is main. But this may not be true, because as a result of this ignorance, you can damage this submersible pump motor. You can damage this motor. Now, I'm going to show you how you can identify what each of these cable represents. Now, there are two types of tests that you conduct for a submersible motor. What we test is what we call the insulation tests, and the other one is called the resistance tests. We have the resistance tests, we have the insulation or you call it the mega test. Tests. Now, in order to determine which of these does this cable represent, whether it's run or start or common, we're going to use the resistance tests. We're going to use the resistance tests. You can carry out this particular test, this first one, using your multimeter. Any multimeter can do that. Any multimeter can do it. But in terms of insulation tests, there is a special meter they call the mega meter. There is a special meter for it. Because if you use your normal multimeter, you may not get the right results. Now let's carry out insulation tests. Now for now, I don't know what each of these cables represents. Now I will call this black wire, wire 1. And then I will call this blue wire, wire 2. And I will call the red wire, wire 3. So we want to carry out the resistance test. Now if I test wire 1, and wire 2, okay, wire 2, and the resistance I got is 7 ohm. And then I test wire 1, and wire 3, and I got 4 ohm. And then I test wire 2 and wire 3, and I get 11 ohm. Now if you look at this, what is common in this? You find out that wire 1 is common in it. This particular wire is common. Wire 1 is common in it. So which one is wire 1? C. They will call the black C, which is the common. Now if you also look at this now, you will see that wire 2 and wire 3 gave us 11 ohm, which is the sum of this and this. 7 plus 4 is 11. So if you get an unbalanced result, then the submersible pump is 40. If you get an unbalanced result, the submersible pump is 40. It can be somehow relatively close. The margin of error should not be much. But if you get an unbalanced result, then the submersible pump is 40. Now take a look at this. You will see that this and this gives us 11 ohm. Now from what we know about motor, the resistance on the start winding is usually higher than that of the run. The resistance on the start winding is usually higher than that of the run. So we get something like this. It means that wire 2, which is the blue, is the start winding. Wire 2, which is the resistance between 1 and 2, gives us 7 ohm, which is the bigger resistance. It does mean that the blue is the start winding. Blue is the start winding, or you call it the auxiliary A. Now, what is left now is wire 3. Wire 3 automatically becomes the run, or what we call the main winding, M. Now, remember this. Remember this. Remember this. That common and start is usually greater than common and run. That the resistance of common and start usually greater than the resistance of common and run. Take note of this. Please note that the color of the wire does not automatically identify the winding. It is important to conduct this test to confirm first before connection. Now the next thing we'll look at is how you connect single-phase submersible pump. This is how you connect the submersible pump. This is the neutral from the mains, and this is live, and this is the earth. The earth is connected to the protective earth of the motor. This is the motor. We have the main winding, the auxiliary winding, and the common. Now the earth is connected to the protective earth of the motor. The live is connected to the common. Now this is where it gets interesting. If you notice, this is a capacitor. The capacitor is connected in series between the auxiliary winding and the main winding. The capacitor is connected in series. Now take note, the auxiliary is connected to one part of the capacitor. None of these mains, whether the neutral or the live, enters there. Take note, none of the whether neutral or live enters where the auxiliary is connected. But at the top where the main winding is connected, you can see that the neutral is connected to it. There's a neutral connected to it. So this is how you connect your submersible pump. Alternatively, you can connect the main winding to the live and then to one end of the capacitor, then the auxiliary winding to the other end of the capacitor, the common to the neutral, and the protective earth to the earth. This is how you connect it. This does not change the direction of the motor, so it doesn't matter if you connect live or neutral to the main winding. It does not change the direction of the motor. But one thing you must take note is that you neither connect live nor neutral to the auxiliary winding, because this could damage the pump. So that is how to wire a single-phase submersible pump. Please, if you have questions, drop it in the comment section. I will be more than happy to attend to it. Okay, now let's talk about the second test, which is the insulation testing or mega test. This test is carried out by a meter. It's a special meter for insulation tests. If you use normal multimeter for that, you may not get the right reading. So it's carried out using a meter. Now, this test is to ascertain if the insulation of the winding is still intact. The insulation is the coating on that winding. Now, in carrying out this test, you will read these cables, the wires, against the chassis. Against the chassis of the motor. And then you will test between these cables. You test between the wires. Between blue and green, red and green, black and green, between black and black, black and red, black and blue. Just test between the wires. Now, after carrying out this test, how do you know that your pump is okay?